So good evening, and thanks a million for joining me on the mat this evening. This week's focus is twist and core. So we're going to be, when we talk about twisting, we're talking about twisting really into the spine and the core. We're talking about creating space and length. And particularly when we're working into the core, it's really important as we twist that we're lengthening before we work into our twist. So we're sitting tall. So if you imagine the spine like a kind of a string of beads, and we're trying to pull those beads apart, and then we work the twist. So that's really important. When we're talking about the core, basically anything from just below the hips to just where the diaphragm sits. So it's all those lovely muscles in between, and they're the muscles that hold the body together, particularly stabilizing that spine, which again gives us our posture, gives us that kind of strong hold of the body. So it will be a little bit warm. We are working into our deeper core muscles, so we generally create a little bit more warmth and heat within the body from that. So again, make sure to keep well hydrated if you need it. So we're going to start in a nice easy cross-legged seat and just tuning into how we're sitting. So just notice if we've collapsed into the front of the body, if we disengage the core. We're going to press the hands into the knees to gently press the chest forward. So we're lengthening from the lower back, and then press the hands into the knees again and see if we can lengthen just a little bit more. So we're kind of growing toward the ceiling. We're going to roll the shoulders back, and we'll open the palms, and then inhale the arms out, reach it up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and really stretch between the shoulder blades. And we'll do that 2 more times. So a nice big stretch as we inhale, look up. And as we exhale, press forward and release. We'll do that 1 more time. So really engaging with those shoulder muscles. And then exhale, press forward and release. So we're going to get straight into our twist. So we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. As we exhale, gently twist to the right, place the left hand just above the knee, right hand on the ground behind us. As we inhale, press the hand into the ground, lengthening tall through the spine. And as we exhale, we're starting that twist in the lower back. We're moving it into the rib cage, into the chest, and looking all the way over that right shoulder. Maybe pressing that left hand into the leg, see if we can give ourselves a little bit more leverage into the twist. And we're just going to gently tilt the head to the right and draw that left shoulder away from the ear. So we're getting a nice little bonus stretch into the side of the neck. Lengthening on the inhale, opening, twisting, releasing on the exhale. So we're really working into mobilizing that core. 1 more breath. And then inhale gently back through center, little twist to the left, just release. And then back to center again. We're going to reverse the crisscross of the legs. Again, get nice and comfortable. Opening the palms. We'll inhale the arms out, reaching up. As we exhale, gently twist to the left, placing that right hand just above the knee, left hand on the ground behind us. We're going to inhale, press the hands strongly into the ground. And as we exhale, we're twisting. And again, that twist always starts in the lower spine where there's generally least movement and works all the way up through to the neck where there's generally a little bit more. Tilting the head a little bit to the left, we're going to draw that right shoulder away from the ear and just really enjoy that release. Lengthening and releasing on that exhale. Continuing here with your own breath. So think about wringing out the core, wringing out the spine, engaging with that lovely deep belly breath to help mobilize the core even more. We'll take 1 more breath. And then gently inhale back to center. Small little twist to the right, just to release. And then back to center again. And straight away, we're going to come to lie down onto our mats. Just make sure you have your block and strap beside you. So lying back onto the ground, knees are bent, feet are flat. We're going to hug the right knee in, give it a nice little squeeze, straighten the left leg. Right hand rests on the shin, left hand on the left hip. We're going to inhale, press the shin into the hand, and as we exhale, work that right knee outside the line of the body, coming into a nice deep psoas stretch here. So as we inhale, press shin into hand, and as we exhale, allow the hip open a little bit more. So work with your breath. We're activating on the inhale, we're releasing, creating space on that exhale. So again, when we work into our core, we're including those hips. Really important, particularly that we can mobilize the hips to really engage with those core muscles. So if the hips are really tight, it's going to be really hard to engage in those tummy muscles and also into those lower back muscles. So they're pulling on that hip complex. Lovely. We're going to hug the right knee back into the chest. Here we're going to reach for our strap or our towel or our pillowcase or whatever you have to hand, and we're going to wrap it around the ball of the right foot. Conscious of the hamstrings. If you're not too sure, keep a little softness to the knee. We're going to straighten the right leg up toward the ceiling, draw the toes toward the face, and tuck those elbows into the waist. Really walking the shoulder blades together. As we draw the toe toward the knee, feeling that in the lower leg, really press the way through the heel. If we're feeling it into the hamstring, it's only into the belly center and not underneath the kneecap or up by the sit bone. If we're feeling it there, just bring a little softness to the knee. As we inhale, we're going to press the ball of the foot into the strap. And as we exhale, draw those toes toward the knee. So we're inhaling, pressing ball of the foot into strap. And as we exhale, toe to knee. And continue here with your own breath. So we're mobilizing a little bit into our foundations. Again, really important with our stability, with our balance. And feel free to point out to the right. So we're going to be everting. Or maybe point the foot out to the left. So we're inverting. So we're working into a few different angles in that ankle joint. So have a little play around with how that feels. Is it a little bit easier in one direction over the other? Still working into the back of the leg, still working into the hip. And then we're going to meet in stillness. We'll get the right hand, we're going to catch hold of the strap. The left hand rests on the left hip bone, and we're really pressing that hip bone to the ground. As we exhale, we're going to draw that right hip open, bend the right elbow, place it to the ground so we can hold that foot in space. We're going to look over the left shoulder. As we inhale, press away through the right heel. And as we exhale, allow the foot drop out a little bit more. We're really feeling that in the inner right thigh, inner hip, and across the front of the pelvis as we draw the left side of the body to the ground. So we're inhaling, pressing away through the heel. And as we exhale, allow that hip open just a little bit more. Nothing forced. So again, just a nice gentle or generous release. Once there's no pain, numbness, or tingling. We'll take one more breath here. And then inhale slowly back to center. We're going to hook the right knee into the chest. Left hand rests on the shin. Right arm extends out in line with the shoulder palm down. We'll shift the hips a little bit to the right. And then draw the right leg across the body to the left, coming into a lovely spinal twist. Left hand rests on the outer thigh. Knee is in line with the hip. And again, if you find you're not fully in the twist, just shift the hips a wee bit more to the right, and that'll create that little bit more space for that twist to happen. Right shoulder glued to the ground. We're looking over the fingertips. Nice deep belly breaths here. So really rolling out the core. And as we exhale, see if we can squeeze out every last little bit of stale air and energy from the body. We should get a nice little release into that right glute here as well. Really relaxing into that exhale. Trying to create a little bit more space with each breath. When you're ready, we're going to inhale back to center, hugging the left knee in. Keep the left knee hugged in. We're going to straighten the right leg down to the ground. Left hand is on the shin, right hand on the right hip bone. We'll inhale, press shin into hand, and as we exhale, open into that left hip. Inhale, press shin into hand. Exhale, work the hip open a little bit more, and continue here with your own breath. So we're not pulling the hip open. That hand is just there for something to press into as we inhale. And an extra little weight as we exhale, keeping the lower back grounded, keeping that right side of the body grounded. And again, just play around with moving maybe that left knee up and down until we find that sweet spot where we really feel that release into the hips. One more breath. Lovely. We're going to hug the left knee back into the chest, reaching for our strap or our towel. We're wrapping it around the ball of the left foot this time. Tucking those elbows into toward the waist. We're going to straighten the left leg up toward the ceiling, draw the toes toward the knee, and again tune in where that hamstring's at. Soften the knee if you need to. Relax the shoulder blades together, opening into the heart. As we inhale, press ball of the foot into the strap. And as we exhale, draw the toes toward the knee. Continue here with your own breath. As we press the ball of the foot into the strap, we should actually feel that all along the back of the leg, right up into the hamstring. So it's not just the ankle we're strengthening, we're getting into the whole posterior chain, right up to the hips. And again, feel free to evert or invert, pointing outward or inwards. Just trying to create a little bit of space into our foundations. So it's a really nice way of working on our stabilizing muscles of the lower legs. Excellent. We're going to meet in stillness here. Left hand catches hold of the strap. Right hand rests on the right hip bone. And we're going to exhale that left foot all the way to the left. Bending the left elbow, we place it to the ground to support that leg in space. Looking over the right shoulder. Right side of the body literally glued to the ground here. As we inhale, press away through the left heel. And as we exhale, allow that hip open a little bit more. And again, if you want to make your hip opener a little bit more restorative, you can always do like what I'm doing right now. Rest the foot against a chair, a table, a wall. So again, you can stay there for a little bit longer. You have less likelihood of overstretching, and it can just have a nice restorative effect on the body. So we're not going to get much more physical effect after 30 seconds to a minute, but we might get a nice kind of calming, mentally calming effect on the body. And just relax here for one more breath. Excellent. We're going to bring that left leg back to center. Hug the left knee into the chest. We can release the strap off to the side. Right hand is on the shin. Left arm extends out in line with the shoulder palm down. We'll shift the hips a little bit to the left and then draw the left leg across the body to the right. Right hand rests on the outer thigh. We're looking over the left fingertips and that left shoulder is glued to the ground. And again, if we're not fully in our twist, just shift the hips a little bit more to the left, creating that space on the inhale, working into that space on the exhale. I'm really feeling that lovely release into the left glute, into the lower back. Massaging out the core and just notice how it feels compared to the other side. So ideally, as we look down the mat, that left hip bone should be stacked on top of the right and both hip bones down the center line of the mat. So we're not going to lie in diagonally. We're getting the benefit of the twist, the full length of the spine here. One more breath. Lovely. And then slowly inhale back to center. Keep hugging the left knee in. We're going to hug the right knee in to meet it. And then we're going to rest both feet down to the ground. We're going to start into our core sequence. So again, so if you've done this with me before, we're going to pick up our block if we have it. Again, I'll show you a variation if not. We're going to get the shoulder end of the block. We're going to bend the right knee into the chest. And we're going to place the shoulder end of the block just above the right knee. Hooking that block in place using the right elbow. We can either place the fingertips to the side of the head, or we can lift the chest and allow the head rest into that right hand. If we don't have a block, just draw the chest open, working that right elbow toward the ground. So again, still lifting from the chest, not the head or neck. So we shouldn't feel any strain on the neck here. Left hand is on the belly, lower back's pressed into the ground. We're going to straighten the left leg. Actively press away to the heel, hovering the foot anywhere between 30 and 45 degrees off the ground, just making sure that lower back stays connected. We're going to inhale, knees together. And as we exhale, straighten that left leg out. Continuing with your own breath. Again, no strain on the neck here. You can try placing the tongue to the top of the palate just to release those neck muscles. And if it's still feeling a little bit strained, feel free to rest the head. Take a couple of breaths, just working into middle and lower core, and then maybe coming back into the upper core. So again, working with your own breath here, but nice and slow, mindfully engaging here. Trying to get away from that tradition of just crunching into the front of the body and really working into that lower back here as well. Nice and stable, connected. Last two. Last one. We're going to meet with knees together, rest the head, rest the block off to the side. We bring the feet about the width of the mat apart, allow the knees not toward each other. Lower back pressed into the ground, arms open into cactus. We're going to inhale at center, and as we exhale, drop both knees over to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back to center, exhale, knees drop to the left as we look over the right shoulder. And continue with your own breath, gently windscreen wiping those knees side to side. removing any obstruction so that we can really draw those knees as close to the ground as we can. Making sure those feet are wide enough apart so that the opposite knee can fall behind the opposite foot quite easy. And although the lower back won't always be on the ground here, keep thinking about drawing the belly button in. So almost like we want to touch the belly button to the back of the spine. I should say to the front of the spine. Lovely. When you're ready, we're going to meet back at center and we're going to work over to our other side. Hugging the left knee in, we'll reach for our block. Place the shoulder end just above the left knee, hook it in place using the left elbow. Right hand is on the belly. Left fingertips either to the side of the head or lift the chest and rest the head into that left hand. Lower back stays pressed firmly into the ground. We're going to straighten the right leg. To be pressed away through that right heel, we're just going to hover here for a couple of breaths. Quite challenging just to hold. Again, keeping that lower back pressed into the earth. We're going to inhale, knees together. And as we exhale, press it out. Continuing with your own breath. Really strong in those legs. So really active through the heels, even through that left foot. Relax the breath. As we inhale, knees together. And we exhale, press it out. Again, no strain on that neck. Slowly, slowly. Last two. Starting to feel that inner burn. Last one. Meeting back at center. Relax the head, relax the feet, relax the block off to the side. Feet about the width of the mat apart, knees not toward each other. This in itself is a lovely hip release. We're going to open those arms into cactus. And then inhale center as we exhale, drop both knees over to the right. We're going to pause here, really pressing those knees down to the ground. We should feel a nice little release into the outer left thigh, maybe even a wee bit into the ITB. If we want to go deeper, we might rest the right ankle on top of that left outer leg and just feel that a little bit deeper into the twist and into that left hip. Nice big belly breaths here. Again, exaggerate that breath into the belly. Feel the rib cage expand, feel the diaphragm lift. So one of our best mobilizers of the core is our belly breath. So taking full advantage. We're going to rest the right foot down, slowly inhale back through center. And as we exhale, drop both knees over to the left, really pressing those knees to the ground, looking over the right shoulder this time. If you want to go deeper into the twist, we can rest the left ankle on top of that right thigh. And again, focusing here on those lovely big belly breaths. Keep drawing the belly button in though, even as we breathe deeply into the belly, so we're not compressing into that lower back. And relax. We're going to bring that left foot back to the ground. Slowly come back to center. Here we're going to hug both knees into the chest. And then we're going to bring those knees so that they're in line with the hips. We're going to bring those heels so they're in line with the knees. So you've got lovely 90-degree angles at all the joints here. So that in itself is strong enough, particularly in those hip flexors, pressing the lower back into the ground. We're going to get both hands and we're going to rest them just behind the base of the skull and allow those elbows drop toward the ground. So feeling the shoulders engage here. And then from here, we're going to lift the chest toward the ceiling. So the head and neck will lift, but we're not tugging on the head itself. And again, we can stay here, or if you want to work a little twist with me, we're going to draw that right knee in, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left as we draw the left knee in. Inhale, center. Twist to the right, straighten the left leg. Inhale, center. Twist to the left, straighten the right leg. So again, direction that we're twisting, we're straightening the opposite leg, keeping the chest lifted. And again, if it's too much on the head and neck, feel free to just work into that middle and lower core. We can still do our twist, just without the chest lifted. Slowly, slowly, and really working into that twist. So try to create a little bit of torsion into the spine and into the core here. And these twisty movements are particularly good for the body when a lot of our movements were kind of crunching and compressing into the front of the body in that forward backward direction. So this way we're getting a little bit more rotation. And this is generally where the body might injure, is in those twists, as in your day-to-day, not in yoga. So if our body is used to going into controlled twists such as this, we've got a lot less likelihood of hurting ourselves than when the body's kind of surprised into a twist, be it in our sport or be it in some other activity that we're doing. We're going to move back at center, relax the head, relax the feet to the ground. We're going to hug both knees in, hands are rested to the shins, and just allow the hips open here. So allow the heels drop out, allow the shoulders melt, maybe make a few little figure eights into the lower back in either or both directions. Relax those shoulders, breathing deeply into the belly. So just releasing into the core here. Excellent. Drawing those knees back into the chest. We're going to place the hands to the ground. Fingertips point to the front of the mat. We're going to gently shift those forearms underneath the sit bones. So we're kind of supporting the lower body with those forearms. Lower back is still on the ground. From here, we're going to straighten both legs up toward the ceiling, press the way to the heels and draw the toes toward the face. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, as slowly as we possibly can, keeping the legs straight, we're going to slowly lower those legs all the way toward the ground. And we're going to hover just about an inch off the mat or until that lower back feels like it wants to peel off the ground. Inhale really slowly up. Exhale, really slowly lower. Work with your own breath here. And again, only dropping those heels as low as that you can keep that lower back pressed into the ground. So it's really important that lower back is stable and supported. We'll do one more. Nice and strong. Feeling that inner burn. And then inhale all the way back up. Exhale, hug those knees into the chest, and then we're going to rest the feet to the ground. We're going to use our bridge pose as our counter pose this evening. So feet are grounded, knees are bent. We're going to reach for a block if we have it, pressing both the knees into the block so until we really feel those inner thighs engage. If we don't have a block, I want you to imagine the width of the fist between your knees and you're pressing the knees but not to touch. Hands to the ground, fingertips brush the backs of the heels. We're going to press both feet firmly into the ground, and as we inhale, gently peel the lower, middle and upper back off the ground. We're going to lift those hips toward the ceiling, walking the shoulder blades together underneath the upper back. Pressing hands, arms, shoulders into the ground, lifting those hips. Nice straight line from the belly center to the heart center. Notice if we're feeling compression in the lower back, see if you can draw the belly in a little bit more. We're going to stay in our bridge pose for as long as we can here with the next sequence. So staying in bridge, as we inhale, come high up onto the balls of the feet. So feeling that into the calves. Exhale, release the feet. Inhale, press the heels into the ground, hover off the balls of the feet. So we're really feeling that into the hamstrings. Exhale, release the feet. Inhale, high up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, press heels into the ground as we lift the toes off. Exhale, release. We do that one more time. So we're working calves as we come to balls of the feet. Exhale, release. We're working hamstrings quite actively as we press those heels into the ground. And exhale, release. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, release all the way down to the ground. Resting the block off to the side for now. We're going to hug both knees in. Again, make a few gentle circles, figure eights into that lower back. Just massaging it out, letting it go. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. Crisscrossing at the ankles, options to make your way anyway to seat, or you can rock and roll with me 3 times, forward and back along the mat, using the motion to massage the full length of the spine into the ground. Using that lovely strong core to bring us forward into seat each time. And when we've done that 3 times, we're going to meet in a nice strong seat at the front of the mat. Bringing those feet out in front, knees are bent, feet are flat, knees are together. We're going to work the heels toward the sit bones toward the heels, making ourselves as tiny as we can. We're going to wrap the arms around the shins, catching hold of elbows, forearms, wrists, whatever we can catch hold of. And just notice if we're rounding into the spine here. So using those legs, we're going to see if we can lengthen through the spine a little bit more. Relax the shoulders back, draw the belly in, sitting as tall as we can. And we're going to try to maintain that alignment for the next little sequence. So we can release the grip, but not release our seat. Step the feet forward, knees are together, feet are together. So there's about a foot between the heels and the sit bones. Extend the arms forward, palms face each other. We're going to gently roll back into our boat, but again, keeping that lovely long spine, keeping that lovely open heart, until we start to feel a little bit light on the toes, onto the tippy toes. And again, we can stay here, drawing the belly button in. We might bring one shin parallel to the ceiling, touch down. Bring the opposite shin parallel to the ceiling, touch down. We might continue to alternate shins, or we might decide to bring both shins together. Again, knees are together, heart is lifted, spine is long. Gaze, find a point out in front to fix that gaze. Holding it here wherever we are, through movement or stillness for 3. Lift the chest for 2. And 1. Crisscross the ankles. We're going to gently fold forward. Release the head, release the neck. Release the breath. Softening the body. Really tucking the chin in here so we can feel the whole posterior chain of the body release right down to the sit bone. Gently tuck the chin in, slowly roll back up to seat. We're going to do that one more time. So again, feet come forward, knees together, feet together. Again, engaging with that lovely long spine. Extend the arms forward, palms face each other. And we're going to gently roll back, but again, keep that lovely long spine, that open heart coming up onto the tippy toes. Again, decide to stay here, maybe alternate shins, maybe bring both shins together. Maybe hug the right knee in, straighten the left leg. Maybe hug the left knee in, straighten the right leg. So again, whichever you decide to choose. Through movement, we're challenging the balance a little bit more, so we're having to really engage with those deeper stabilizing muscles. But again, just go to where it feels challenging for you today. Work to that place. And then when that becomes easy, maybe try the next. And again, depending on the day, even the time of the day, some of these poses might feel a little bit more challenging or less. We're going to come back to center, crisscross of the ankles, and gently fold and release. Release the head, release the neck. Maybe shift the hips side to side, maybe rock the head side to side, whatever feels good. Relax the breath. Tucking that chin in, really feeling that release into the back of the neck and down the spine. Lovely. Gently tuck the chin in. We're going to slowly roll back up to seat. From here, nice wide fingers. We're going to place those hands to the ground out in front, shift the body weight forward and step back onto the knees into a nice strong tabletop. Shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, hips over knees, knees hip width distance apart. Notice if the belly's collapsed here. We're going to gently draw the belly button, almost again like we're trying to touch the inside of the spine here. Pressing the ground away, feel those shoulders engage. We're going to inhale, bring the gaze forward and up as we arch the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, tip gaze back to the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, tuck the chin to the chest, and continue with your own breath. Nice, generous cat-cow curls. Mobilizing the full length of the spine here. Trying to create as much space and energy as we can using the movement. Eyes are closed, so we're just really engaging with what it feels like as opposed to what it looks like. And again, feel free to pause on your table, maybe rock the hips side to side, maybe roll through the shoulders. So again, it doesn't have to be your traditional cat-cow curl. If something else creates a little bit more space into your body this evening. So again, whatever feels good. Eventually, we're going to meet back in stillness in our tabletop. We're going to walk the hands forward just a little bit, tuck the toes under, and we're going to sit back toward the heels, resting the forehead either toward the ground or onto a block if it doesn't quite reach. Really pressing away through the heels, maybe wriggling through the toes a little bit, feeling those arches really activate. Melting the chest, feeling that space between the shoulders. We're going to press both hands actively into the ground, allow the head lift off the mat. We're going to look back toward the toes, and then gently lift those hips as high as we can toward the ceiling, and then gently lower those heels toward the mat, coming into our downward dog. Pressing the ground away, try to get the chest a little bit closer toward the mat. We look back toward the knees, making sure that head and neck are fully relaxed. Lifting those hips, feel that space in the lower back. We're just going to gently paddle out the feet, allowing opposite heels now softly toward the ground. Feet are about hip width distance, maybe even wider apart if it feels good, whatever's good for your body. And again, just rolling through those feet, not forcing the heels down, but trying to get a nice gentle release. We're going to look forward between the hands, and we're going to gently walk our way to the front of the mat. Coming through a nice wide-legged forward fold. Bringing those feet wider than mat width apart. So we can touch the fingertips down quite easy, in line with those toes. Weight us back into the heels and hips, so we should be able to wiggle those toes really easy. Left fingertips stay grounded. Pressing that left hand into the ground, we're going to inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart. And as we exhale, fold. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, release, and continue with your own breath. Gaze is following that extended arm, and we should be feeling a nice little release into the opposite inner hip as to which arm is in the air. We exhale, fully release into that fold. So just allow everything go soft, particularly that lower back. Maybe even sigh the breath out as we exhale. We're going to do one more, both sides. Lovely, releasing, letting go. We're going to bring those feet a little bit wider. We're going to get the left hand and we're going to catch hold of the outside of the right leg as close to the ankle as we can, but keep those legs straight and keep the weight back into the heels. And then we're going to inhale that right arm up. So pressing that left hand into the leg is giving us a little bit more leverage into our twists. We might take the gaze up. If we want to go deeper again, we might bend the right elbow and see if we can catch hold of the little crease at the top of the left thigh. But again, legs are straight and we're bringing that weight back into the heels, working into our twist, working that right shoulder back for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, release into our folds. We're going to get that right hand. We're going to catch hold of the outside of the left leg. Again, keeping both legs straight. I can widen the feet if you need to. And then we'll inhale the left arm up, opening the heart, take the gaze up. Really pressing that right hand into the leg to give us a little bit more leverage. If we want to go a little bit further, we're going to bend the left elbow and see if we can catch hold of the little crease at the top of the right thigh. And again, using that connection to work the heart open a little bit more. Really feeling that nice release in the inner right hip, but again, not forcing it. Holding it for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release, release, and let it go. So nice and easy, nice and soft in the spine, in the lower body and the upper body. So just allow everything hang out here. Nothing forced, not caring too much about what it looks like. And then we're going to gently, leaving the body nice and loose, we're going to gently sway the body side to side, still in our folds. That sway is going to get a little bit bigger. Head and neck fully relaxed. We're swaying almost outside the width of the legs here. So we're getting a little bit more into that lower back, into that sideways. And eventually we're going to start to slowly unfold our way all the way up to stand. Head comes up fast, nice and easy. Lovely. And then we can bring those feet together. Take a little drink here if you need. We're going to work into a nice flow practice for the last part of the class this evening. And when you're ready, we're going to meet at the front of the mat. Again, you can have your block at the front of the mat just in case we need it. Feet nicely grounded, about hip width distance apart. Hands to heart. Relax the shoulders, draw the belly in. Gaze is fixed out in front, really spreading through the toes. So finding your foundation, really rooting your roots. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hands on the ground. Inhale, left arm up and open heart. Exhale, left hand back to the mat. We're going to rest the right knee down, cushion it if you need. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen tall through the spine. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to the left, hooking that right elbow to the outside of the leg. Palms pressed together, drawing that left shoulder back. We're going to look over the shoulder. Heart is open to the left side of the room. See if we can press that right arm into the leg. So we're lifting the belly off the leg, and those hands are almost at heart center, holding it for 3. Bending into that left knee for 2. And 1. Inhale, slowly turn to the front. We're going to frame the left foot with both hands. Coming off the right knee, we'll step that left foot back into plank. Shoulders over wrists, elbow creases face forward. Actively pressing the ground away, nice and strong in the arms. If we're off the knees, we're pressing back through the heels. If it's too much in the shoulders, drop to the knees, but maintain a nice straight line from the neck to the knees or from the neck to the heels. We're not allowing those hips dip, that we're compressing the lower back. We're not allowing those hips up into the air, that we're almost put into our downward dog. Nice and strong, just holding it for the first round for 3. Pressing the ground away for 2. And 1. Exhale, knees, chest chin to the ground, elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, lift the chest. As we exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away, lift the hips. Downward dog, stillness or walk it out, your choice. Really drawing the chest close to the mat here. So we're really feeling those shoulders engage. Relax the head, relax the neck. From our downward dog, we're going to inhale the right leg up. As we exhale, we're going to bend the right knee and we're going to draw it forward to touch the right elbow and come all the way into plank. This can be done with the left knee on the ground. In our plank, that means shoulders are stacked over the wrists. So we're not in downward dog. Holding it, trying to hover that right foot off the ground for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, right leg up. This time as we exhale, right knee to left elbow, twist in our plank, hold for 3. Pressing the ground away for 2. And 1, inhale, right leg up. This time as we exhale, bend the right knee in, we're going to shift the body weight forward and bring that right foot between the hands in as many steps as you need. Left foot to meet it, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, left hands on the ground. We're going to inhale the right arm up and open heart. Exhale, right hand back to the mat. Resting the left knee down, cushion it if you need. We'll inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen, draw the belly in. As we exhale, gently twist to the right, hooking that left elbow to the outside of the leg. Pressing the palms together, we're going to draw that right shoulder back, looking over the shoulder, and then see if we can press that left arm into the leg. So we're bringing those hands a little bit closer toward the heart, and we're really feeling that twist into the core for 3. Relax the breath for 2. And 1, gently twisting to the front of the room. We're going to frame the right foot with both hands coming off the left knee. We'll step the right foot back into our plank. Again, still holding it for the first round, nice and strong, actively pressing the ground away. So think about the arms, we're pressing the ground away as opposed to those arms supporting the body. A lot stronger mental process. Nice and strong for 3, for 2, And one, exhale, knees, chest into the ground, elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, lift the chest. As we exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground to lift the hips. Downward dog, stillness, or walk it out, your choice, or child's pose if you wish. Relax the breath and notice if it's caught up in the chest. Try to draw it a little bit deeper down into the belly. For the next little bit, remember you can do this with the right knee on the ground. We're going to inhale the left leg up. As we exhale, bend the left knee. We're going to touch it to the left elbow and move all the way into plank, holding it here for 3. Strong in the arms for 2. And 1. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow, twist inner plank. We're going to hold for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, left leg back. This time as we exhale, knee to chest. Bringing the body weight forward, we're going to step that left foot between the hands in as many steps as we need. Right foot to meet it. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Take a little drink if you need. We're going to go into a second round with a few little variations thrown in. When you're ready, knee at the front, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Lengthening through the crown of the head, relax the shoulders back. We'll inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to chins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hand is on the ground. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, left hand back to the ground. Right knee on or off the mat, your choice. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we sink into the hips. So again, if that right knee is off the ground, we're pressing back through the heel and it's not shaking. If it is, just rest it down. We'll inhale here, and as we exhale, twist to the left, hooking that right elbow to the outside of the leg, pressing the palms together. Drawing the left shoulder back, we're going to press that right arm into the leg as you look over the shoulder. Bringing those hands as close to heart center as we can by actively pressing that right arm to the leg for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, turning to the front of the room. We'll frame the left foot with both hands. The left foot comes back to meet right. Nice strong plank. If you wish, you can stay working into your high plank. Otherwise, join me as we lower onto our forearms. Shoulders are stacked over the elbows. We're going to bring that left forearm parallel to the front edge of the mat, coming onto the outer blade of the left foot. Right hand comes to the hip. Again, this can be done with the left knee on the ground. We're pressing the hips up toward the ceiling and slightly forward so the bum's not popping out to the back. We can stay here. This is strong enough. We can inhale the right arm up. And if you want to join me as we exhale, we're going to tread the right hand underneath the left armpit and look over the shoulder. Inhale, right arm up and open the heart. Keep the hips lifted. Exhale, tread the right hand underneath left armpit. Gaze is following that right hand up as we inhale and under as we exhale. Last 2. A little bit of torsion here in the core. Last one, we're going to inhale the right arm up. And as we exhale, bend the right elbow, we're going to place the forearm to the ground, left forearm parallel to meet it. Reconnect with those lovely strong shoulders. We're going to press away, back up into plank. Inhale here, exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, baby cobra or upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Downward dog, stillness, walk it out, or child's pose if you wish. Reconnecting with the breath if you've been holding it. From stillness in our downward dog, we're going to inhale the right leg up. We're going to bend the right knee, touch it forward to the elbow as we move into plank for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, twist inner plank. Hold it for 3, for 2, And one, inhale, right leg back. This time as we exhale, bend the right knee. We're going to shift the body weight forward, bringing that right foot between the hands. Left foot to meet it. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, left hand's ground. We'll inhale the right arm up and open the heart. Right hand back to the ground. Left knee on or off the mat, your choice. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart, sinking into those hips. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, gently twist to the right, placing that left elbow to the outside of the leg. Press the palms together, draw the right shoulder back, and then see if we can press that arm into the leg. So we're literally lifting the belly off the leg, and those hands are a little bit closer to heart center. Looking over the right shoulder. If we're off the knee, press actively through that left heel for 3. Relax the breath for 2. And 1, gently turn to the front of the room. We're going to frame the right foot with both hands. Left knee is off the ground. We'll step the right foot back to meet left. Nice strong plank. Staying in our high plank if you're wishing to work there. Otherwise, joining me as we come down onto our forearms. Nice and strong. Bringing that right forearm parallel to the front edge of the mat. Shoulders stacked over the elbow. Coming onto the outer blade of that right foot. Left hand comes to the waist. Again, this can be done with the right knee on the ground, but just keep lifting those hips skyward and a little bit forward so the bum's not popping out. Inhale the left arm up. And if you want to join me as we exhale, try that left hand underneath the right armpit as we look over the shoulder. Inhale, left arm up and open. Gaze follows that left hand. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, left arm up and open. Keep the hips up. Exhale, thread it through. 2 more. Nice and strong. Last one. Inhale, left arm up. And this time as we exhale, we're going to bend the left elbow. Place it back to the ground. Right forearm parallel to the left. Again, re-engage with those shoulder muscles. We're going to press our way back up into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Elbows in, slowly lowering. Untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground as we draw those shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Nice and easy. Stillness, walk it out or child's pose if it feels good. Lots of internal heat being generated this evening. From stillness in our downward dog, and remember this can be done with the right knee on the ground. We're going to inhale the left leg up as we exhale, bend the left knee, touch it toward the left elbow, moving forward into plank. We'll hold it for 3. For 2. And 1, inhale, left leg back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow, twist all the way into plank. Shoulders over wrists for 3. For 2. And 1, inhale, left leg back. This time as we exhale, bend the left knee into the chest. We're going to step the foot between the hands and as many moves as we need. Rest the right knee down. We're going to untuck the toe and then walk that left foot to the very outside of the mat and bringing both hands inside. Just make sure that left knee is stacked over the ankle here. So we can either stay high up on the finger pads. We might even get a little bit higher up onto the block if we want a little bit of extra space into the upper body. Or if we want to just relax into those hips, we can walk those hands forward. So we're sinking those hips a little bit closer toward the ground. We might use our block. We might place 1 forearm or 2 forearms onto our block at any level. And again, if we're quite close to the ground and we want to come all the way onto the forearms, we can use the block to support the head. But just make sure if we're quite close to the ground that we haven't suddenly started to round into the front of the body. We want to really feel that space into the front of the right hip and into the left hip joint, a little bit into the hamstring. So just go as low as feels right for you. And we're going to pause here. We're going to release here. So I don't want you to feel that you're holding a pose. more so that you're releasing into a space. Relax the head, relax the neck, maybe even get a little shake to remind it to relax. Relax the hands. Relax the feet, the shoulders. Allow the heart melt, the belly melt, the hips melt. If it feels good, you can always come onto the outer blade of that left foot, but just make sure the left knee feels stable enough for you to do that. So it just gives you a little bit of extra space, but only if the knee feels okay. Softening the breath. Each exhale, relaxing, releasing a little bit more. Noticing the face, so just softening the brow a little bit, releasing the jaw, maybe parting the lips just a little bit. Breathing deeply into the belly. Again, using that belly breath to create a little bit more space into the core, into the hips. And even as we stay in the pose, if you feel like going a little bit deeper, or likewise, if you feel like backing off for the last little bit, listening to the body, following its cues. And again, it's going to tell you if it wants to back off just as much as it wants to go deeper. So listening to those little hints that the body gives us. Last couple of breaths on this side. And when you're ready, gently tuck the chin in. We're going to come back up onto the hands if we're not there already. Keeping the right hand on the ground or on a block, we're going to bring the left hand to just above the knee and gently look over that left shoulder. So we're coming into a twist for 3. For 2. And 1. Left hand comes back to the ground. We're going to tuck the right toe under, lifting off the right knee, and really slowly, we're going to bring the left foot around to meet right. Lift the hips and gently walk it out, inner downward dog, or any other movement that feels better for your body. So just getting a wee bit of blood flow, a little bit of energy flow back into that right hip and leg. Relax the breath, relax the head, relax the neck. Coming to stillness, inner downward dog. We're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward, bend the right knee into the chest. We're going to shift the body weight forward until we can step that right foot between the hands. Release the left knee, untuck the toe, and then walk that right foot to the very outside of the mat. Again, knee is stacked over the heel, both hands come inside the foot. Either high up onto the finger pads, up onto our block if we're looking for heart space and hip space. Or if you want to join me by releasing a little bit deeper into the hips, feel free to walk those hands forward, sinking the body a little bit closer toward the ground. You can or you don't have to use your block if you want to take the weight out of the upper body. Forearms on the block, relax the head, relax the neck, sinking a little bit deeper into that hip space. And again, if it feels okay in the knee, feel free to come onto the outer blade of that right foot. But again, only if that knee feels stable, so don't force it. And again, breathing deeply, in and out through the nose, nice and deep into the belly. Focusing on creating space in the spine and the rib cage. Not forgetting to breathe into the chest as well, but just starting that breath in the belly. Every exhale, allowing the body soften just a little bit. So again, a little bit deeper into the fascia here. Not forcing it, just releasing into it. No pressure. And if for the last few breaths you feel like going deeper or you feel like backing up, feel free to adjust your pose. And again, just releasing here. So again, we're not holding the pose, we're releasing into a space.
So last couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll gently tuck the chin in. Slowly come back up onto the hands. We're going to bring the left hand toward the center of the mat, on or off the block. Right hand just above the knee. We're going to look over that right shoulder as we gently twist, holding it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly turn to the front of the room. Both hands come to the ground. We tuck the left toe under, come off the knee, and again, really slowly, we're going to bring the right foot around to meet left. Lift the hips. One last time, walking it out in our downward dog, taking any movements that feel good for the body. So again, it mightn't be downward dog, it might be something completely different. So any movements at all, maybe rock into the hips, maybe swagger the hips side to side. So again, whatever feels good for your body this evening. And then when you're ready, we're going to meet in stillness. In our downward dog, releasing down onto the knees. We're going to bring the big toes to touch. Slowly sitting back toward the heels. We're going to make a little pillow by putting one hand or one fist on top of the other. And gently rest the forehead here. Gently, if it feels good, we're going to rock the hips side to side. Maybe rock the head softly side to side. So just releasing any last little bit of tension that we're holding on to in the body. Allow the chest melt, allow the belly melt, sinking the body a little bit closer toward the earth. Softening the breath. Eventually coming to stillness here and just feeling the full weight of the body, the weight of the breath. And then just seeing for one last 2 breaths, seeing if we can draw that breath as deeply as we can into the belly, through the rib cage, feel the diaphragm lift. And as you exhale, just sigh it out, release and let it go. And taking 1 more breath to your own count. And then when you're ready, we're going to tuck the chin in, pressing the hands into the ground. We're going to slowly walk the hands back toward the body until we're sitting back up onto the heels. And we can either choose to finish our practice here, sitting back on the heels, or you can join me in easy cross-legged or any other seat that feels a little bit better for you this evening. But wherever we are, coming back to that lovely long spine, that strong core, that open heart, we're going to open the palms to the ceiling and we finish like we start. Inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, slide out and let it go. We'll do that 2 more times. And 1 more. And then gently bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes. And just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your evening to come to the mat, to look after yourself, to create some lovely energy, some lovely strength, some lovely release. And hopefully take that with you into the evening and into the week ahead. And thank you so much for sharing your practice and your energy with me. Namaste.